Toast, and you don't recognize this voice at all because the Toast, as a podcast, hasn't had the honor of meeting its own host. So I'm Josh Dowell. I work for Water and Land Solutions at the Ag Center, but today we're going to get to know Doug a little better. We're going to chat about him. So Doug, let's just open it up. I mean, tell the people, what do they need to know? Who is Douglas Brunner?
That's a good question. I'm still trying to figure that out.
It's a great one, yeah.
I feel, who am I? I think that's a great question, Josh. That's a very broad question.
It is.
I don't know how to answer that one right off the bat.
Well, okay. Well, let's drill down. I mean, we both grew up on a dairy.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
You grew up on one a lot longer than I did. Ours moved to Texas. We
Yep.
got smart. But let's go back. I mean, so how did we get from Fresno State back to the dairy to the Ag Center, and where are we going now? Maybe let's start there.
That's it. There you go. So, went to Fresno State, got out of Fresno, was a dairy science major, and went back to work for my dad on his dairy. And, I enjoyed cows. I love cows. I still got cows. I sometimes don't know why. But really just never truthfully found a total happiness on the dairy. I thought I was until I'm doing what I am today. And my parents were great. They're hard workers. My grandfather set a beautiful stage for our family, which we got to grow up together as a family on the dairy. But I would say a lot of it had to do with, I guess, meeting my wife and just, deciding that what I'm doing today was not what I had to do the rest of my life. And I really didn't know what was going to change, what was going to happen once I decided to leave the dairy.
Yeah.
But it was a roller coaster. It's happened really fast, too. It's gone by extremely fast. I've been married for now 6 years.
Good deal.
I started farming, which I didn't know nothing about farming. I didn't know acre inches, gallons per minute, pHs in soil. And now we've built quite a large farming company, and a lot of people said, you can't do it. And I guess for me, that's been a lot of the biggest motivation in my life is just people telling me, oh, that's stupid. That won't work.
Yeah.
And I just, it's more of a challenge to me, right?
Yep.
Like, I beg to disagree with you, right?
Yep.
And so I've been blessed. The Ag Center now is growing, and I'm just so here you are interviewing me. I didn't know you a year ago.
Nope.
And now you're working with us. That is my pleasure in life, to be able to connect with amazing people.
You're going to make me blush, man.
Don't do that. No, don't do that right now. But we are growing. A lot of our businesses are growing, and it's becoming a success that I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
I take it very personal. And I'm excited to see what's in store. Every day I get up, I'm excited to see what's in store.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe what separates myself from some people. Not saying I know I'm not better than anybody at all.
But you're going to knock down the wall before anyone else.
I take that mentality. I do. I love that mentality. I want the people who work with me to have that mentality, and really to stay focused on what they're doing well, right?
Yeah.
And so, a lot of people ask me a lot of weird things, and why do you do what you do, or what is success, and when does it end? When do you stop? And to me, it's not really my success anymore. It's more of the people that I'm working with. That's the greatest joy, to see people like yourself who I get to talk to on a daily basis and hear your ideas. And
Yep.
I want to see those things come to tuition.
Yeah.
And to me, that's my fulfillment in my life.
Got you. Well, let's focus on the Ag Center a little bit. So, we go from the dairy to farming and now the Ag Center, and I know we talked about it a bunch, but when did the idea to create the Ag Center, when did Ag Center 59 pop into your brain?
For me, it was always a pain in the butt because I had a bunch of offices in different areas.
Yeah.
And I had a diversified portfolio of companies in all different cities. And it was always and they were growing, they were small, and I had a secretary here. And, it was just a pain in the butt. And I'm going to give credit to a guy, Brad Samuelson. One day he found a piece of property, and I've seen the property for years. And he's like, hey, man, you should look at buying this place and bring out all the companies there. And the more, once he said that, then my mind starts racing, right? Okay, if we're going to do this, we can do that. We can bring more companies. We can start promoting this way. And that, I guess, in the long story short of it, it was Brad who kind of picked a place, like in essence, our where we're going to go establish our community, right? Which was important.
Yep.
And all come together because I just knew if we could all network together every day on a daily basis. I always liked my father-in-law's company that they always would sit and talk, and he owns quite a few different companies that all are organized together, and they would just talk and relate, and what's the nursery doing, Wholer doing, and this, and I'm like, I want to create something just like that. Yeah. I know I can't replicate what he's done, but if I can have that type of synergism, I that's the one thing I feel that the Ag Center has is this serious synergism that people don't understand.
Yeah.
Constant.
I see it every day too.
Yeah.
Just being on the ground floor.
Yeah.
It's you got the marketing gals, you've got agronomists. I mean, it's everything all in one spot, and we're constantly bouncing things off of each other.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I love it. I mean, I'm happy that I commute up and down the state to my hometown every
From
week.
Sacramento.
Yeah, from
I'm
Sacramento.
proud of you.
Hey, it's worth it to me because I believe in the Ag Center. I know the mission that you set out to accomplish is going to mean something. But where do you think this is all headed? I mean, I know the 99's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the Ag Center, I don't know, 15 years from now? What are we doing? What's it look like?
As you know, Josh, I don't keep a schedule or a calendar.
Yeah.
Right?
But you got a dream. I know that.
Yeah, my dream comes back to everyday fulfillment for myself, as I hope everybody else is finding. And I think with that evolves a lot of new options. That's a great question. Where does the Ag Center go in 10 years? And if I had to say my dream, it would take a really long time.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to keep evolving. I think people are we're going to keep hiring or getting more talent there. Extremely inspirational people. I think when people come there, they almost find themselves, right? They start seeing that they can do things that they haven't done before. It is possible.
Yep.
Guys go from, something that they thought they never had an opportunity to do something to doing something big and being, making a difference in the ag community.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and, I know we're kind of talking, that's the Ag Center and all that stuff, and we talked about growing up on the dairy. I mean, I've been sitting here and I'm looking over your shoulder. You've got both your kids right there. I mean, tell us about them. What's, your family? We talked about your wife,
Yeah, so my wife is my rock. My wife is an amazing woman. Her name is Alexandra, actually.
No, technicality.
She is somebody who I can come home to every day, bounce ideas off. She's involved in a lot more than people know. She's involved in my strength. She's involved in helping me really procure ideas off of at night. Sometimes she says I'm crazy. Sometimes, well, I am a little crazy.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Yeah, smidge. Yeah. But she's also the mother to my beautiful children. I have Cashin, who is 3 years old, and Harper, who just turned 1.
Yeah.
And they are the light of my life. It's changed the way I look at things. I want them to someday be involved in something that they want to find their happiness into.
Mm-hmm.
I hope and pray that my son and daughter would love to work in our hopefully family businesses someday. But, I am not in my family's business. I do things with my father and mother, and they've been so supportive of me. They are the reason I am doing what I'm doing today.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't work with them on a daily basis, and that was hard.
Yeah.
After doing that for 28 years.
Your entire life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then just jumping.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say jumping ship, but jumping off the cliff.
Yeah.
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 That's a crazy thought process.
It's hard mentally and things like that, but I just I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm. Doug, tell me, what is your favorite thing to do when it comes to the Ag Center? What's the number one thing that when you pull up in the morning, what is your favorite, task, thing you do every day? I know you run around to every office, say hello to everyone, check in with everybody, talk business with everybody, but what gets you out of bed in the morning when it comes to the Ag Center and it comes to Doug Brunner?
I think for me, the main thing is I have a few phone calls that I make every single day on my way to work. My guys fire me up, and they always have they're younger guys, so they're always getting after it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it pumps me up. I talked to Kyle, Espinola, Josh Bonds, Chase Ulrich, Keith Yamamoto, Stephanie Steele at the root, just marketing, and just the list could go on and on.
Yeah.
But I talk to them, and they just kind of, I guess, ideas just begin in my mind, like what, somebody will say maybe a problem or something, and that's kind of, I guess, my daily deal is just addressing things that are going on if I can be of assistance. Not all the time I can be an assistance.
Mm-hmm.
These people are better than me at what they do in their positions, right? But one thing I think I do well is think outside the box, creativity. I'm a creative, but an Aggie, you know? So I try to really, promote their growth, promote them. And if I can assist them in any way, my whole thing in my life has always been how do I get out of the work I'm doing as fast as possible, finish the job right.
Yep.
So I can move on to the next thing. And I always did that on the dairy, but my dad always handed me another job. Now I look at it as how can I do it now and create another opportunity, right?
Yeah. How do you do the next thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and you talked a little bit about, and I'm a 25-year-old guy, but you talked about young people just now.
Yep.
What is, there's a million things that we could tell young people and a million things that we could tell them to do better, do things more of. This is going to get you to success. What do you think is the one thing that people my age that are wanting to pursue a career in ag, they want to do something cool, they want to be big in life? What would you tell that person?
Number one, find out what you want to do.
Okay.
Right? No, take that back. I never thought I would be involved in a gopher company.
True.
Okay.
True.
Spreading, marketing, water.
Yep.
I knew I'd be involved in a dairy or I'd be a farmer.
Yep.
I never saw my life in these other regions. So that's not always true. But when you can identify yourself with extremely talented people that are good at what they do, and you can position yourself with them to create value, and they can create value for you and create value to your organization.
Yep.
You're going to find some really serious leaps and bounds of success. And I think to me, success is the biggest excitement or just joy that can bring it. I think when you're focused on the growth of the business and the excitement of the business and things like that, everything else seems to fall into place.
Yeah.
when you're sitting there, and it's easy to say at times, but when you're sitting there worried about how do we create a profit? How do we do this? How do we do that? I think all these venture capital companies, a lot of times, the reason they're failure is they're so worried about their earnings or their valuations and things like that instead of actually doing the damn business.
Yeah, they're worried about the details, not what
the reality is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's their failure. I know, like, you've worked at a few tech companies and stuff like that, and it's just like valuation, turn, investment,
Revenue,
this, that.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, man, what is the reason for your business? What audience are you trying to capture? What are you trying to really do? And I think when you hone in on that, you're going to find success.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you at all. I found out at an early age I love water, which is a weird thing to love.
Well, we kind of need it.
Well, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, most young guys, they like football, they like baseball. I like water. So it's interesting. But I was listening to your father-in-law's podcast recently, and I don't remember what episode it was, so I apologize, but he asked one of the guys he was interviewing a quote to live by. And I think that, I'm going to ask you that same question. Is there a quote that Doug Brunner as a man lives by?
So my father-in-law has some pretty funny quotes.
He does have some good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, he like remembers quotes, and it's amazing. Like, they stick in his brain.
Yeah.
I'm a type of guy, I see numbers and they stay in my brain. I don't really have a quote to live by necessarily. Just get up and kick ass, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're tired of the situation you're in, just get out of it.
Yep. Get to work.
Get to work or change it, right? Yep. Change it. Make something out of a shitty situation.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist. I'm a very positive. I think 90% of the time I'm very, very positive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get very mad.
Yeah.
And very frustrated.
Yep.
But in the end, I always retreat back. It's like, okay, I'm frustrated. I'm going to get over that. And now let's get back to optimists, right? And for me, that's worked for me. Some people are negatives.
Yep.
They work off fear. They work off negativity and things like that. I don't operate that way. It brings me down. It becomes a thorn in my side.
Yeah.
And so I've tried to stay away from that. So quote I live by, I guess, being an optimist for me is just, if you're doing what you want to do, be positive at that, right? Just be the best at that. Move on to the next thing, whatever it is. Find what you're good at.
Be a Viking, right?
Be a Viking. I love Vikings, right?
I watched it the other night for the first time.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it a lot.
Just get into it.
Yeah.
Just get into it. I'm at series 5, episode 18 in 3 weeks.
Jesus.
Yes.
Where do you find the time for that?
I stay up very late.
I get it.
I need to work more.
No.
But sometimes things like that are educational. Sometimes finding things like that in your peace find you. I look at things like that, and they actually teach me things.
Yeah.
Reading the Bible teaches you things. It just reading books teaches you things. Whatever it is, spending time will teach you things, right? And sometimes you got to take away from work a little bit. I feel like my mind's constantly working, right?
It's working overtime.
Yeah, but I find a rest in things like, that help. Everything I do, I try to take back that can be a substitute for success, right? Try not to waste much time on that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Good deal.
I think I'm average on my phone 9 hours and 30 minutes a day.
We got to check. You got that screen time app. It can tell you.
Yeah, it tells me once a week. I think my average is about almost 10 hours a day.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, if the phone's buzzing, dollars are coming, right?
Yeah, I always answer my calls.
Yep.
And people say your voicemail's full. Well, I say, I always call you back, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't call you back, that's probably because I didn't want to talk to you. But very rarely, I always answer my text messages. Communication's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. If you're going to be in the service industry, you're going to try to take care of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You need to really hone in and answer your phone and just be Johnny on the spot. A guy, Conrad Delatorre, a very great mentor to me. If he knows he's a mentor to me or not, works for my father-in-law. He runs a nursery company. Probably has taught me more than almost anybody in customer service. He's just incredible at what he does. Not only does he offer and deliver a great product, but there always will be problems, and he solves them.
Yeah.
He gets after it. He fixes them, and he is just a incredible human like that. And it always ceases to amaze me. So I try to mock myself after that.
Yeah.
Mock yourself after somebody who is incredible at what they do.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty damn good takeaway. So I know we can sit here. We could probably talk all night and talk business and shoot shit and keep going.
I got to get home to my kids.
I know you got to get home. So I think I know how to do this on the toast, but here's going to be a toast. It's a toast to business, toast to success,
friendship,
toast to friendship and family.
Absolutely. Yep.
And yeah.
May the best.
May the best. May
Thank
the force
you,
be
Josh.
with you.
Yeah, force be with you.
Yeah. Good deal.